Hello and welcome to BBC Sport Africa. I'm Janine Anthony and here's looking at a special show that's bringing you some of our very best stories from 2019. He's the flying forward who can't stop scoring. We visit Sadio Mane's village to find out what makes the Liverpool man so special.
Sadio Mane
Yes, they identify with Sadio Mane. He is our idol. Even the little children, when they start playing, they say, "I'm Sadio Mane, I'm Sadio Mane."
He's been slamming it in the ring. WWE's Kofi Kingston grapples with our questions and tells us how Africa played a big part in his journey to champion wrestler. Jonsia Rukia Kabakama has also been breaking glass ceilings. Find out how the Tanzanian referee made history this year. In the year of the Rugby World Cup, Brian Habana reveals the greatest moment of his glittering career.
Knowing that you've become a Springbok, knowing that you've come on the field, you've made a difference, and that people now know that Brian Habana has arrived.
2019 has been a great year for sports. We've had the Africa Cup of Nations, the Rugby World Cup, and Athletics World Championships, and African performances by African athletes across the world in different sports have been amazing. We start with one man who led Liverpool to the UEFA Champions League final and won it, as well as guiding Senegal to the Nations Cup final in Egypt. Now, Sadio Mane has been cheered all the step of the way by his people in his hometown of Bambali, and even local pride makes more sense when you see all of the local projects he's funding, as Babaka Diarra went on to find out.
We are on the road which brings us to Sadio Mane's home village, Bambali, and as you can see, it's a bumpy road that the government has promised to pave, but has not yet done so. The people in the village hope the star of Liverpool will fund it with his own money.
But right now it's match day in the family home where some neighbors have gathered, and there is huge excitement as Mane has a chance of winning the Premier League with Liverpool. And he doesn't disappoint the house, scoring early on. Two people are deliberately missing Mane's game as usual, his parents, since they can't bear to watch. In the mosque we meet Elash Talibo Mane, Sadio's dad. For him, the Liverpool player is more than a football player. What makes you proud of him?
He's working for everybody. He is also a strong believer, a good Muslim.
He didn't forget his hometown.
No.
If Sadio comes around here, he behaves very humbly, on a level with the people here in Bambali. He doesn't arrive all dressed up, he stays in shorts like all the villagers. Really, he doesn't want to stand out. And the village gives all this love back to him.
I'm praying that Sadio Mane wins today. Manchester City loses and Sadio wins the championship. That is what we want, and that's why I pray to God to help him win.
But the party wasn't spoiled thanks to Mane's brace, which helped the Senegalese to finish as joint top Premier League scorer for the season with 22 goals. An individual trophy that inspires Bambali's kids, who immediately play at Mane's childhood first pitch.
Oui, Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane,
Yes, they identify with Sadio Mane. He is our idol. Even the little children, when they start playing, they say, "I'm Sadio Mane, I'm Sadio Mane." His name is everywhere.
Like his name, his legacy is never far away. From the field, you can see the high walls and two-story buildings of the high school construction projects that Mane funded. These huts have been replaced by proper classrooms.
The high school wasn't secured. Anybody could come through. During class hours, you could see people walking with their equipment to go to the fields. It disturbed the students many times, but now this is over. Nobody can come through, and we are safe here. He is a son of the town, a son of the city. He studied here. He knows the living conditions and studying conditions around here.
Mané's last teacher to still work in the school is delighted by his works, and that reminds him of some stories from Sadio's childhood.
When he missed school, it wasn't for anything other than football. You could see him playing with little kids. This is what pushed him to skip class, and he skipped it only for football.
Back in April, we had a moment of history as Kofi Kingston became the first African to lift the WWE Championship. He was born in Kumasi, Ghana, and moved to the United States at the age of 2. So, Isaac Fanning went on to meet him to chat about the importance of being unique and find out the role that Africa has played in his journey to the top.
Looking to fly, champion outside the ring. Down goes Daniel Bryan.
To be able to say you're the first African champion, I mean, how does that feel?
When you say, I get like chills, you know. It's amazing to be the first, you know. I can barely even put it into words. I'm awe-stricken.
Man who is so proud of his family, so proud of his background.
What has it been like to, you know, work at this company for 11 years and then finally, you know, reach the top of it?
I've seen a lot of people come and go. I've seen the industry change. I've seen a lot of different movements kind of take place. I've seen people start from behind me and pass me and become WWE champion, all the while I just keep working, you know, and it's very easy to get discouraged and it's very easy to want to quit or to stop. But for me, I've had this internal drive to and this belief that I could be at the top, and I'm glad that I stuck with it.
11 long years.
And my Ghanaian name is Kojo.
Yeah.
And so I was born on Monday. Yours is Friday, yeah.
Yeah.
So when I saw you join the WWE and I saw Kofi Kingston, I was like, oh my God, there's a Ghanaian in the WWE. And then they started calling you Jamaican.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
When I was first getting involved with wrestling in general, when I was trying to break into the business, the whole thing was that you needed to have a character. And there was a guy who was wrestling for a different wrestling promotion named Prince Nana.
Yeah.
So he was already doing like a Ghanaian thing. So I didn't want to come across as like, oh, he's Ghanaian, now it had already been done before. What hadn't been done was a Jamaican character. And I had, been listening to the Damian Marley CD, Welcome to Jamrock. Just one day we had a promo class and I was just like, well, what am I gonna do? I need to try Kofi Kingston. Yeah, Kingston Jamaica. And I cut a promo on Ric Flair about him stealing my Jamaican beef patty. And so everyone was just like, they lost their minds because they'd never seen anything like that before. And then we were off to the races. Kofi Kingston was born. That's it right there. I don't have So for myself, Big E and Xavier, my partners, were the New Day, you know, and one of the most important things for us is to be ourselves.
Our opponents making their way to the ring, the New Day!
You know, we come out, we wear pancake tracksuits, you know, we wear unicorn horns, we throw out pancakes, we have a cereal called Bootios, we like ice cream, you know, we go out there, we dance, we twerk, we're us. And a lot of people are like, whoa, well, you're embarrassing yourself. No, it's like, what we want people to do in the world is to be comfortable in their own skin.
Just tell me about how important the continent is to you and being a Ghanaian is.
You know, I think it's always important to know where we came from. And, you know, I remember asking my mom and dad quite a bit about just the history of Ghana and where, you know, where I came from and, you know, my name. And, you know, even as a kid, I was mad that my parents named me Kofi because I would go to school and get made fun of for my name, Kofi, Coffee, oh, and I'd be, you know, so angry about that. But now you look up Kofi, you type it in the Google search, and I'm the first name that comes up. You know, me and Kofi Annan. And for a while, we were neck and neck right there. So I'm in pretty good company, and I just think it's an awesome thing to be unique, you know, and it just means the world to me. And you know, being Ghanaian is, I just have the utmost sense of pride to be a Ghanaian.
Extreme sports by their very nature can be challenging, but for many people, the thrills come with the danger. So imagine doing all of that and you've got only one leg. Meet Kenyan superbiker Cassandra Bill.
The bike in itself is unforgiving, but the sport in totality has got a lot to do with how you carry around yourself. It doesn't guarantee you that if you run away from the sport, you get to live longer. My name is Cassandra Bill. I'm a biker and I'm a proud amputee. I lost my foot on 11th of October 2015. It was one easy day. Me and a bunch of friends were out having fun. And for bikers, having fun is you are on a platform where you get to test the speed of your bike. So we are basically racing on the road. Something happened and I lost control of the bike, went off, hit a Pelican road sign. By the time the commotion had happened, I just realized, no, I was missing a foot. The most difficult part was me accepting my situation and accepting myself just the way I am. I was busy trying to compare the life that I was in at that point in time compared to the life I was living before.
So I have to dress up this baby. He's called Bobby.
I had achieved a little bit of success from my past life up until the accident, so I had fear of, from that point, I'm going down the drain. I really battled with myself to come to an understanding of it's mental, you need to deal with it and move on. I can't run away from death. I had to teach myself to learn with the fear of not knowing. If I don't know about it, if it hasn't happened, it's fine, it hasn't happened. Let me play around with the time that I have right now.
My goodness, Cassandra Bill doing his thing on two wheels. But he's not the only person Sport Africa met this year doing amazing on one leg. We also found out about Amon Okechukwu Abraham from Nigeria.
Having one leg does not make me different. I feel normal like every other person. I can do anything that any other normal person can do. My name is Amon Abraham Okechukwu. I'm a high jumper. I was actually born like this. I decided to go into high jump because I found out my talent and I like high jump. During my primary school, during our inter-house sports, I saw where they were doing high jump, so I decided to give it a try. So I discovered that I was perfect, so I decided to take it to the next level as a profession. Anytime I train, it's actually fun because people do normally come to video me, some take pictures with me, and it's fun. Being disabled growing up, it wasn't easy. There were so a lot of challenges. I've been belittled by so many people, and people do see and pity you. My role model is Mutaz Essa Bashim. My dream is to break the world record in high jump para sports.
Good luck with your aim, Amon. Keep jumping. And that's it for part one. We'll take a break and we'll be back with more jumping content on BBC Sport Africa. Welcome back to BBC Sport Africa on what is a special show wrapping up some of our best stories from 2019. Now, history was made at the Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations in Tanzania, but it was not by eventual winners Cameroon. Instead, it was by Tanzanian referee Jonzia Rukia Kabakama, who jumped straight into the record books by becoming the first woman to ever officiate a game at the African continental level for men.
The rules are the same. They haven't changed. The moment I step onto the pitch, knowing I have fully been entrusted with the responsibility of refereeing a match, I don't need to think of being a woman or a man. The rules of the game remain the same. We all, and I mean everyone involved in football, must discard the stereotype that things will be different just because women are now involved in refereeing. I was extremely happy, and it was also such a surprise to me. I was overjoyed because the selection was an affirmation by CAF and the recognition of the work I have already been doing. I was at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations as a referee, and the tournament had just ended, so I knew I was going to have a good break from football activities. Then my colleague informed me I had been selected to attend a training course for refereeing men's football. I asked which competition. She said the Under-17 AFCON. It was a big surprise. When you decide to go into men's football as a referee, you are tested on refereeing men's football. It means you're also tested on a different level of fitness. So I knew I needed to change my fitness training regime to take up fitness levels of men's game. It wasn't easy, but I encouraged myself, and I was motivated in knowing I was representing fellow women. I am capable. My involvement with football started with playing the game. I even played for the national team, but when I stopped playing, I did not want to lose everything football, so I decided to move into refereeing. The number one motivation was to remain in football as a referee. But secondly, I wanted to go beyond female football and to become a referee in men's football as well. I am grateful to God. I have achieved that, and I'm very happy to be here. As a female referee, you may go somewhere to officiate where you are told to go back home to your kitchen to cook. You shouldn't be here. I have personally encountered that, but you should never give up. That is the first thing I tell them. Secondly, I tell them, as a woman, your first and most important support is in your own hands. Nobody will give you greater support than you can give to yourself. My ultimate goal is to be a referee at the World Cup. I am confident we are going to cause a revolution here. Men must prepare themselves for that eventuality.
Congratulations to South Africa, crowned rugby champions, winning their third title at the Rugby World Cup in Japan. I'm sure watching with a smile across his face would have been Brian Habana. No man for the Springboks has scored more tries, and he also won a title with the team in 2007. We caught up with the winger who talked about his incredible career.
I'm Brian Habana, former South African rugby player. I was named after Brian Robson and Gary Bailey, two Manchester United sporting legends. Grew up wanting to be the next South African export into the Premiership as a soccer player. And 1995 was an absolutely symbolic watershed moment in my life. I'd really not known about rugby before that point, even though my dad was a very avid and keen rugby supporter. He allowed us to do what we want to do, and I just enjoyed playing soccer, I enjoyed running, and my dad took me out of school for the first time ever. We took a road trip down to Cape Town to watch the opening game of the Rugby World Cup, where South Africa played the then world champions Australia at Newlands, which is potentially one of the most historic rugby venues globally. And for me as a 12-year-old boy, being able to see grown men of different colors, of different race, painted with a new South African flag on their face, embracing, crying tears of joy at that instance was incredibly monumental in terms of the burning desire that it started lighting inside of me. I was one of the fortunate few 65,000 sitting in that stadium when Joel Stransky kicked that drop kick over, where the late great Nelson Mandela walked out onto Ellis Park with that number 6 Springbok jersey, over his head, and handed Francois Pienaar the cup. And Francois' famous words of, "It wasn't for the 65,000 people in the stadium, it was the 45 million South Africans supporting them," inspired me to think, geez, I would love to do what this group of 22 men had been able to achieve. There's moments throughout the course of that 8-week period that, are vividly etched into the back of my mind for forever. You dream of becoming a Springbok in South Africa, you dream of becoming, that famous rugby player. And I think for me, seeing that point come to fruition in November in 2004 and getting to wear the Springbok jersey for the first time against the then world champions England at the home of rugby Twickenham, and then being able to score a try with my first touch of the ball in international rugby sort of laid the foundation for the rest of my rugby career. And yes, there was winning trophies, winning World Cups was fantastic, but that moment on its own was pretty amazing for me. I was about to run on, our team manager called me back. There's only 8 minutes to go in the game, and sort of absolutely disappointed that I'm now not going to get my opportunity. And he was like, no, you're still going to run on the field. You've just got to take the beanie off your head. So it was so cold, I'd forgotten to take the beanie off my head in my excitement to get on the park. For us South Africans, we love our rugby. Rugby's given our country so much in terms of it being a unifying force and bringing people together, inspiring and giving back hope like nothing other. From a personal point of view, now knowing that you've become a Springbok, knowing that you've got an opportunity to be given the responsibility to wear that Springbok jumper and go out and represent your country, of which I was inspired to do by that side in 1995, was incredibly emotional. From a personal accolade point of view, knowing that you've come on the field, you've made a difference, and that people now know that Brian Banner has arrived.
Whoa, that was almost good. What do the late Stephen Keshi, Blessing Okakpare, and Sunday Olise all have in common? Well, they're of course super talented sportsmen and women, and they all come from Warri, South Nigeria. Now, when you add Eche to that list, who is the best freestyler in Warri, he's only just 11 years.
My name is Shinaso Eshe. Some people call me Amazing Kid Eshe. I am 11 years old. I am the best freestyler in Warri. I started freestyling when I was 8 years old, and my dad showed me some videos of Messi, Ronaldinho, Okocha, and I just started practicing. I love freestyling because it's my gift. In my school, my classmates, I like to entertain them. I like to be an international freestyler and travel all over the world.
The fact that the way he glues the ball on the top of his head and juggles the second one, man, it's so amazing. It's very difficult to learn. Most of the world freestylers, most of them can't do it. Even I myself, I can't do it.
Every day I wake up at 4:30, I do my training, and I go to school. After the school, I go to field and play some football with my teammates. Mostly, I like to play for bigger clubs like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Chelsea, and Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Oh wow, incredible skills from Echi. I can't believe he's just 11, because when I was his age, the only thing I could pretty much do was fry grey eggs. And that's not even easy to say. But that's it for the show. We want to say a very big thank you for joining us on the show. I hope you've enjoyed some of our stories from 2019. We're bringing more to you in early January. And as for 2020, you can be sure to count on us for some of the very best content from sports in Africa. I want to say thank you for a great year in 2019. My name is Janine Anthony. I'm saying goodbye and have a happy holiday.